The pursuit of truth is the fire that has driven our civilization forward for millennia. Humanity has sacrificed everything for answers to the questions nature posed to us. But what if you aren't just a man? You're Odin, the All-Father. You know everything there is to know about the world, or it seems. But one final riddle remains unsolved, and solving it might require sacrificing the entire world. Today, we're going to try and figure out Odin's character in God of War together. Is he a power-hungry All-Father who will stop at nothing, or a seeker willing to pay any price for the truth? To understand Odin, we first need to recall how he is introduced into the story. Initially, Atreus finds murals with the prophecies in which his father, Kratos, is destined to die. He tries to save his father's life by preventing this fate and seeks answers about his own heritage. To achieve this, Atreus secretly travels to Asgard without his father's knowledge to meet Odin. Odin offers to help him explore a mysterious ancient mask and a green rift in Asgard in exchange for answers. From this moment, the game begins to explore the main questions of the plot through Odin's obsession with gaining ultimate knowledge from the rift. Odin spends all his time in a cave beneath his palace, where the thin green rift remains. This cave becomes not just a dark, abandoned place, but a kind of sacred space where he rummages through old books in search of answers. He constantly searches for any information that might help him gain access to the source of knowledge. The only thing separating Odin from the rift is the ancient mask. It plays a significant role in this process, as it's the only means of interacting with the rift. But another difficulty awaits Odin. The mask is broken and several pieces are missing. He solves this problem by sending Atreus and other gods, including Thor, to find the pieces across different realms, taking risks along the dangerous journey. Odin is ready to do anything to bring his obsession to life. He is completely focused not on using the rift's hidden secrets for conquest, but on answering deeper questions: whether there is an afterlife, who created all creatures, and how to avoid death in Ragnarok. Supposedly, as the All-Father, he shouldn't fear the unknown, death or nothingness, but he is like any mortal man. These questions consume him, pushing Odin to risk everything. His once unwavering and dignified image as a god begins to fade as fear takes hold of him. His struggle against ignorance drives him to put in more and more effort. His craving is fueled by his fear of vulnerability and falling into oblivion. Odin cannot accept the fact that even the All-Father doesn't possess all knowledge. There are no limits anymore. Every sacrifice is worth it in order to come closer to the truth of existence. So, All-Father didn't stop at anything to achieve his goal, neither manipulations nor his own family. In this storyline, Atreus plays an important role, because only he can translate the symbols on the mask to gather all the pieces. In this regard, the young god is perceived more as a tool for Odin's purpose than as a vulnerable teenager with a personal crisis. For Odin, this presents a great opportunity for influence as he exploits Atreus' weaknesses. Step by step, the All-Father builds a relationship based on trust, ingratiating himself and leading Atreus to Asgard, where he can find answers. There, the young boy receives the time and attention he craves, as long as he feels recognized and involved in the process where he can truly be heard. Odin even gives him a guest room to make him feel comfortable among friends and win him over. Asgard becomes a place where Atreus feels he belongs, making him easier to manipulate. Eventually, all these efforts bear fruit, and the young god becomes actively involved in the process, enjoying his sense of importance and believing he is among his allies. At the same time, Odin's family turns against Atreus, especially after Kratos brutally kills Heimdall. They question Odin about Atreus' presence among them, but Odin takes his side to serve his own interests. For Odin, however, there is no contradiction, because his ultimate goal remains unchanged. He puts his interests first, as he has done many times before. The feelings of his own family are not enough to stop him from pursuing the secrets of the Green Rift. The All-Father's cold attitude toward those around him reflects his cruelty and calculating nature. When Atreus finds the lost piece and assembles the mask, he escapes with it from Odin to Sindri's house, believing it to be safe. However, Odin's caution allows him to anticipate this outcome, as he has been pretending to be Tyr ever since his release from captivity. Thus, the All-Father knows all their plans from the very beginning. After Atreus escapes with the mask, the false Tyr suggests a new plan to cloud their judgment and retrieve the key element. But he faces resistance from Brock, so there is no need to maintain the disguise, and Odin reveals himself. He attacks Brock with a knife, without hesitation, without need, and without emotion. Odin compulsively chases his goal, despite the cost, and Brock is just another obstacle in his path. The final culmination of the story is not countless manipulations, but rather a personal sacrifice for his obsession, Thor's death at Odin's hands. The reason is understandable and, in a twisted way, almost noble. Thor refuses to kill Kratos at the last moment in order to become better for his family's sake, thereby defying Odin's order. The god of thunder gains his own will, so the instrument no longer serves the All-Father's purpose. Odin decides to kill the now useless Thor in front of his family, treating him as expendable and stating that he has no choice. This becomes his main sacrifice, the highest price he pays to obtain sacred knowledge. The end justifies the means. This was Odin's philosophy in life. The moment of Thor's death hits me the hardest. After being reduced to nothing more than his father's weapon, Thor finally finds the strength to take back control of his crumbling life and do the right thing. And what happens? Odin takes his life without a second thought, brutally striking his down right in front of his own daughter. The All-Father has done everything he could to obtain knowledge. He has worked his way up to that very moment, the end of the journey. That point should be a release from the obsessive thoughts, through the possession of knowledge, of beingness and access to truth. But instead of a deserved outcome, it's just him, Atreus and Kratos, standing together in front of the Green Reef. The All-Father stops fighting, quickly changing his behavior as if he were the kindest person in the world, and attempts to convince Atreus to take his side. Odin, the almighty god, is begging the boy to put on the mask to uncover the secrets of life and death. Atreus feels only pity for him, seeing not a powerful and cold-blooded leader, but a scared old man obsessed with the pursuit of the truth. There is no hate anymore, only the understanding that for Odin there is no way back. Atreus breaks the mask, completely refusing his offer, and now their common cause is definitely finished. There is no more space for negotiation, persuasion, or manipulation. All the countless attempts are left behind. But despite everything done by the All-Father, Atreus reaches out to him, asking him to stop and to become better. In reply, he receives only an accusation of destroying everything, and Odin declares that he will never stop pursuing his goal. The All-Father is trapped in obsession, and this idea has become the meaning and driving force of his life. In exchange for getting closer to the Green Reef and its ultimate knowledge, he put everything on the line, but still lost his family, Asgard, his soul, and his life. In the end, Atreus didn't just break the mask, he broke Odin's entire life. The All-Father, who sacrificed everything for truth and so effortlessly manipulated others and took lives, finally tastes true bitterness himself. The All-Father has struggled so desperately to reveal hidden secrets that he couldn't even stop to look at the situation from another perspective. Perhaps he could find another way, not through violence and cruel control, but through kind leadership and cooperation with others. Odin could choose to act avoiding drastic measures that left no chance to step back. More rational, cautious and thoughtful decisions would lead him to success and preserve his family. Instead, he burned bridges over and over again, regardless of the consequences. His actions were gradually becoming more destructive along the way, especially toward the very end. But could Odin indeed pay a lower price for a chance to begin to find real answers to fundamental questions about existence, life and death? Probably the matter lies in the nature of the search for answers, and what exactly motivates a person to continue. Odin was absolutely obsessed with the idea of unlimited knowledge so badly that he didn't realize when he crossed the line. Can we call him crazy if the primal fear of death and nothingness led him? Perhaps he felt complete devastation because of it. to the point that he couldn't even act in any other way. This fear and obsession clouded his judgment about many things. And at one moment, he behaved like a madman, destroying everything in his path. Odin chose the path, paying a high price for getting closer to greater knowledge. In this respect, Odin's motivation is perceived as a real obsession, but Kratos' and Atreus' is better. They have done many terrible things on their way to freedom from prophecy. Atreus manipulated and lied to many people, including Odin and his father too. He also risked other lives to reach his own goals, such as saving Kratos' life. Kratos, in his turn, has killed many gods along the way, and sometimes it wasn't necessary. For example, Heimdall's death. They also didn't care about the consequences of their actions in order to defeat Odin and eliminate prophecy. That's why Odin blamed Atreus for destroying everything, his family, home, and kingdom, in the last scene before passing away. Judging by their actions and their approaches to achieving better results, Odin, Atreus, and Kratos are almost the same. Only motivation distinguishes them in this aspect, and nothing else. What would you do if finding the answer to the ultimate question meant risking everything? And what if the answer was that you're just a video game character? I'm kidding, although, who knows? If you enjoyed my videos, hit that subscribe button, drop a like and share this with your friends. That's it for me today, but I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. Stay tuned and peace out.